The first question says, leading the development of a new mobile banking application for a financial institution, the project manager and the team member who is responsible for a critical task have conflicting perspectives on how to approach a key deliverable. So here we have a conflict between the project manager and the team member. The team member feels that he is being micromanaged, while the project manager believes the team member is not meeting expectations and delivering subpart work. Okay, the project manager gets an unexpected email from the sponsor. So here we have a third stakeholder, the sponsor. The letter explains that the team member is seeking her intervention. It means that the team member reported to the sponsor that he has a conflict with the project manager, and there is an escalation here, a technique used by the team member. What should the project manager do next? Sit down with both the team member and the sponsor to collaboratively resolve the issue. That makes sense. But let's see the other options to confirm if A is the best option or not. Ask the sponsor to remove the team member from the project. Here, remove is not a good term. Usually when I encounter remove in an option, it indicates that the option is not good. But let's continue reading. Since he is not to be trusted with confidential internal issues anymore. Already the team member used escalation, and maybe the team member is using that in order to benefit the project. So it's not confidential to have a conflict about a task or about the processes or something like that. It's fine to report the issue or escalate it if we need the help of upper management for some cases. So nothing wrong with escalation for the team member here, and the project manager should not take the matter personally, and that's why asking to remove the team member is not the right course of action. So I'm willing to mark this as wrong. Okay, let's see here, discuss the situation with the functional manager to decide on the right disciplinary procedures. Disciplinary procedures, I think this is not the right action as well, because the project manager seems that he's taking the conflict personally and asking to take revenge, and that's not the right course of action, of course. So C here is wrong. D, initiate a conflict resolution meeting involving relevant stakeholders, including the team member, project sponsor, and other key project team members. Why extending the problem here? There is no need to include other team members and other stakeholders. Since the team member escalated the issue to the sponsor, it's enough. We need to resolve the issue with the sponsor and sit down with both the team member and the sponsor. I think among all the options, A is the best option. Let's confirm. Yes, A is the best option, sitting down with both the team member and the sponsor to collaboratively resolve the issue demonstrates a proactive approach to addressing the conflict. Okay, let's move on to the next question. In an agile software development project involving the creation of a mobile application or a ride-sharing service, the project manager has implemented a practice where team members take turns facilitating daily stand-ups meetings. So this is what usually recommended, actually, to let the team facilitate the daily stand-up meetings themselves to promote collaboration and ownership. That's good. Each team member is assigned a rotating role to facilitate the stand-up meeting for a designated period, typically 1 week. Each week, one team member takes the lead to facilitate the meeting, then the next week, another team member, etc. Okay, let's see the situation here. However, one team member consistently fails to properly facilitating stand-up meetings, acting flustered, failing to engage other team members, and doing most of the talking. So here the team member is not doing good in facilitating the stand-up. What should the project manager do next? Let's see the different options. Assign the responsibility of facilitating stand-up meetings to another more reliable team member. Okay, if you do that, what are the advantages? Okay, maybe you are going to have more smoother stand-ups, but on the other hand, the team member is not learning new skills, is not improving, is not going to be confident in the future. I'm not willing to take this option. This should be wrong. If I find someone lacking, maybe I encourage them, I let them try, I guide them, I coach them, I get them training, I assign someone to coach them or just show them the right way to do things. But removing the responsibility from them is not a good choice. Let's see B here. Provide immediate feedback at the end of each stand-up meeting so all team members can learn from their colleagues' mistakes. When it comes to criticizing people, it's not good to do that in public. Generally speaking, when you have advice for improvements, do it in private. If you would like to give advice in public, it should not be right after the incident and the team member already know that the advice is concerned him immediately or because of his performance. So that's a general rule. If there is a recognition, you can do that in public, but be careful for that as well, because you should not hurt the other people. You should avoid the due some reward. If you are complimenting someone, then maybe the other team members will feel jealous, and that's also a problem. So be careful when delivering criticism or compliment in public could lead to bad consequences. Okay, so B is wrong because of this reason. Organize coaching sessions with the team member to discuss the importance of their role in facilitating stand-up meetings and provide guidance on how to improve. That's a very good option, actually. I like it. And that's what the project manager should do. Let's verify. Most probably it should be wrong because I like it, the C option. Let's check. Remove the team member from the project. No need to read the rest. Removing the team member because he was not able to manage the stand-up properly is not a good course of action. You should never remove a team member because of bad performance, especially if this is the next course of action. Should try all alternatives first before removing the team member from the project. And usually in the P exam, this is not a right option. So whenever you see remove someone or replace someone, this should be a wrong option, like we see in the video about the bad terms that you usually should avoid when selecting the right option. Okay, let's verify the right answer. Yes, C is the correct answer. Let's move on to the next question. In a software development project adopting agile methodologies, a team member who possesses extensive expertise in agile practices often volunteers to mentor and coach new team members, sharing insights and best practices to help them navigate the agile framework effectively. However, during team retrospectives and planning meetings, the team member tends to assertively voice his opinions, advocating for specific approaches and solutions without fully considering alternative perspectives. Which of the following describes the team member's personality? We need to select two options. Here, the team member is sharing insights and best practices, helping navigate the agile framework. So is he an introvert or an extrovert? He is an extrovert for sure, because an introvert does not like interactions a lot. So this team member is interacting a lot with other team members, so he is an extrovert. Now, is this team member judging or perceiving? What's the difference? Judging is someone who makes decisions without listening to others, usually. So they are decisive. They are not listening too much to other perspectives. So they want to make their own decisions and impose their decisions to others. Perceiving, on the other hand, is someone who likes to hear from everybody and then make decisions. And perceiving is a more collaborative person, let's say, when it comes to decisions. This team member doesn't seem to be a perceiving person. We see here that without fully considering alternative perspectives, which means that this team member is judging. Okay, so let's confirm the response. Yes, this person is extrovert and judging because he's mentoring new team members, but on the other hand, he is decisive in expressing his opinions without fully considering alternative perspectives. All right, so let's move on to question 4. A project manager is leading a team of marketing specialists to launch a new advertising campaign for a client. The project involves developing creative concepts, executing marketing strategies, and measuring campaign performance to achieve the client's objectives. The team consists of experienced individuals with diverse backgrounds in marketing and advertising who have previously worked together on similar projects. Okay, at which stage of Tuckman's ladder should the team charter be created? We have 4 options: the forming stage, the storming stage, or the norming stage, or the performing stage. Okay, so let's review these different stages of the Tuckman ladder. This is the Tuckman ladder, and we have initially the forming, then storming, then norming, then performing, and at the end we have the adjourning. So here, at which stage we set the team charter? More logically, it should be here at the beginning. We define the charter at the beginning, so later on we can refer to it when we have storming or norming, or even during the performing. We always refer it because it will set the norms. So let's check the option E to confirm. At the forming stage, to set the foundation for how the team will work together throughout the project. That's exactly the purpose of the team charter, and this should be right. So if you are doing this question in the real exam, maybe you need to move right away. Don't spend a lot of time reading these different options, since you already sure with the information, so you win a precious time in your PMP exam. So I will apply this technique right away and check the right answer. And yes, the right answer is A, and move forward. No need to waste time reading the different options if you are pretty much sure about the right answer. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. A project manager is responsible for leading a hybrid project with remote team members dispersed across 4 continents. As a result, the team has experienced communication issues. What can the project manager do to alleviate the team's communication challenges? Set up remote pairing, use an agile approach, relocate the team, or create fishbowl windows. We need to select 2 here. Okay, I think I can dismiss this one right away. You should not change the project development approach because you are encountered an issue like this one, because usually we change a project development approach because many factors, especially related to the project scope, how we can deliver this scope, and the changes, the risks of this scope. And this is not in this scenario. So we should not change the development approach because we are having a remote team. Okay, so that's why B is not the right option. Let's check C here. Collocating the team. Is that always feasible? In most of the cases, not. We are working with members from different continents. So you are going to bring them to one location, and that will cost you a lot. And in addition to that, sometimes it's not even possible. The team members are not willing to relocate to the other place. So you have 2 options, either to let them go or to let them work remotely. So collocating the team is not an option, and in many cases it is not an option. You need to find alternatives. Here we left with 2 options. Set up remote pairing. You let team members work in pairs. That's possible to alleviate the communication challenges. And create fishbowl windows. What does this mean? Actually, this means that at the beginning of the day, you start group call, and a few team members get into this group call. And as if the 2 different teams dispersed across the continents, as if they are working in the same area, because they most probably will have like a big TV in the room and everyone talking from the other like team. They can ask the remote team any questions, and you can see that any member can get in and out during this meeting. So that's a technique used in many organizations, many remote first companies. It is called fishbowl windows. It starts at 9 and finishes at 5, sometimes less, sometimes more, and usually it simulates the co-located teamwork. Okay, so here your right answer should be A and D. Let's confirm. Yes, the right answer is A and D, and fishbowl windows and remote pairing are two techniques used to manage communication and remote teams.